Hi everybody, this is our 2-week follow-up to see how our experimental grow out cages are going. So here we have our Flemish doe, Taco, and her 8 kits that we left on her. 2 of hers we fostered. This is her sister, Pizza, who is unproven as of yet. We just didn't breed her at the same time. So she just got this upgrade yesterday because we prioritized our nursing does. You can see there's a little bit of a difference between this hardware cloth and her hardware cloth, and we'll talk about that here in a second. But first, I wanted to talk about how this has gone in the 2 weeks since we started it, since we set these up. So we have been very happy with these. Our dog's coming in to greet us after going potty. We've been very happy with these. The kits are going to be a month old tomorrow. Excitedly. Cannot believe that. We have had less food waste than when we were in our 50-gallon totes. And you can still see we have them still in the background. Those were originally quail brooders. We used them in our home when we lived in the city in New Mexico. We only had 2 at the time, and we used those as quail brooders. You can see the ones we used as quail brooders have those holes in the sides, and that's where we ran our electrical cord for the heat plate. We still have our buck in here, but he is getting an upgrade. He is going to be going in another pen in the middle. And I'm really glad because we can talk about the 2 different kinds of mesh that are common, both what we use to start with and what we have now and why we're using the new one. But to start with, this has been excellent. We could not have grown our kits out in those 50-gallon totes. There's just no way. They were fine in there for the first couple weeks. The moms were cramped. The moms were cramped to begin with. All the rabbits were cramped in there. That was their juvenile housing that we put together when we got the rabbits as a holdover because we hadn't decided how we wanted to do them. I really like rabbits with their feet on the ground. But the parasite possibilities, that's a whole conversation of how do you house rabbits. We have had 0 issues with this. We had that really cold weather that hit pretty much the whole country. We had negative 25-degree wind chill. And without the wind chill, which is what they were feeling, at one point we got down to 4, I think, was the lowest. Maybe 0 was the lowest. But our well pump froze. The waters were freezing. And we didn't lose any. None. None have tried to jump out. None have tried to climb. None have tried to chew at this point. At least not the enclosures. Our zip ties are holding up. Now, one thing we did discover about these zip ties, we discovered for ourselves, other people probably know this. We have been patching fence line because we just bought this property 2 months ago, and we have an indoor-outdoor dog who likes to patrol, and he likes to find weaknesses in our fence. So we were out patching, I think it was actually Christmas Day, because it's just the 2 of us. We thought, why not? Let's go take advantage of the sun because it was kind of sunny. We were out patching fence, and we've been using these zip ties and just whatever materials we have. But in that cold weather, I think it was in the teens that day, every one of these zip ties, the tabs on the inside broke. So don't expect to put this together in frigid weather and have the zip ties work. I'm noticing here you can see some red, but thankfully that is just material from David's sweater. No blood, nothing like that, nothing crazy. We really like the 1/4 inch mesh the best. It's more flexible. When I bend over to reach in, it bends with me. It's pretty nice. We did just scoot this whole thing forward so it can be moved to an extent. We scooted the whole thing forward by pulling the tarp at the corners and then straightening it out because we needed to make room for our buck there. The reason we have this 1/2 inch mesh, it's less predator proof regarding mice. However, and there is more chance if they wanted to chew, there's possibility the adult could get their teeth stuck. In the smaller ones, the babies could still do that. I mean, I guess a really determined rabbit could do that anyway. Thankfully, we haven't had any issues. And you can see it they've been eating mom's food for quite a while. Sorry. I get sidetracked when they're being very cute. So cute. But the reason we have this 1/2 inch mesh is because that's all we could find in our town without ordering it. And I'm not a big fan of shipping when I can go pick something up locally. So it's doing its purpose. It's a little bit harder to put together, not because it's a worse material. It's just the spacing of the wire and the gauge of the wire makes it stiffer. So it really did take 2 of us to do this. He held it together and I did the zip ties on it. This edge, neither of these edges came crimped, so we took the roughest looking one and crimped it ourselves, just stepping on it, folding it and stepping. So far so good though. She is quite energetic, Pizza is, and if we were going to have an issue, I would expect it to come from her because she is adventurous, she's energetic. I would have expected her to climb out or jump out. She's been on her hind feet investigating, but she's done her binkies in here and has been pretty happy compared to the few square feet we had them in. So all in all, we're really enjoying this. 0 issues with the tarp. We put a ton of hay in with these guys. So you can actually see, I'm going to start, who did we put the most hay in with? I think maybe the Flemish here. Let me get down so you can see kind of the layers. So the very bottom layer, which is there, is the leftover deep bedding from their tote. I didn't want to waste it. Why waste it when it could be a nice addition to help fill it out? Then we put a layer of wood chips on top. Then we put a layer of straw. And that was a ton of straw. We went through almost a full, hi Artemis, just as our old lumpy lady Artemis. We put almost a full square bale over the course of the week in with all of these guys just for bedding. And of course they could eat it too. And then now that the weather was nice, yesterday I came in and where they had picked their poop spots and their pee spots, I raked the hay out evenly, so now it's, nice and flat. So this one's nice and even. You can see Dummy back there is fairly even. This one, we didn't put enough in to begin with, so you can see it's kind of lopsided on this end, but it works out fine for them. We'll fix it a little bit as we go. You can see moms can get in there. That's good, mama. So it's been excellent. We absolutely love this. If you have a similar setup as us and similar budget constraints, I do recommend it. We have left the door open now for the last couple days so they can get some sunshine, but during that entire cold snap, there was a whole week, if not a little more maybe, where this big door was closed and we just had, that light and where is it? And that light over there. They did perfectly fine. No issues. We put a heater in our well house so that we could keep the lines there from freezing again, because they did freeze the first night. So we just kept the water in there and switched them out and had an excellent time. So we're gonna get off here, and I'm gonna start helping put our bucks cage together, and we'll see you next time.